We here at the Canyon Country Advisory Committee have started a board of directors. We've talked about that in the past. It was originally called a focus group. And let me give you a little history. The Canyon Country Advisory Committee started back in the late 1990s. It was started by the city of Santa Clarita, and it was one of 4 community groups that the city sponsored. Originally, it was called the Canyon Country Better Than Ever Committee. It had a budget, had staff involvement, and the average attendance in those meetings back then were 10, 12 people. In 2006, the Canyon Country Advisory Committee started to bloom because in 2006 they hosted a city council candidate forum. And the attendance increased from that point on. And to this day, we have been averaging approximately 62 people per meeting. I started attending the Canyon Country Advisory Committee after that candidate forum. And regularly in the fall of 2006, I started attending and found the meetings to be informative. And I learned such valuable information about our community and also the city. The subjects that were presented were interesting and also very magnetic, and I just kept wanting to learn more. So I decided to get involved. Al asked for volunteers to be on some different subcommittees. We were talking about looking at some of the ordinances in the city that didn't pertain to some of the older neighborhoods and stuff. We wanted to go over some of the different ordinances. But I was the only one that stepped up. Nobody else volunteered, and we never really got to get into doing the ordinance deal. In the summer of 2009, I approached Al and suggested that maybe we might want a steering committee for the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. Basically to help Al take some of the work and the burden from him preparing the meetings and going to different meetings around town and all that kind of stuff that he presented. So the only problem is you got to be careful what you ask for. Al appointed me the head of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee Steering Committee. So we asked for volunteers, and we had our first meeting in November of 2009. We decided to meet on the first Wednesday of each month. We agreed to call ourselves the Canyon Country Advisory Committee Focus Group. We decided we were to discuss in more detail the subjects of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee general meetings and also spread among the community, communicate among the community what we've learned here and try to get to communication and educate the community. We also wanted to have our members join various community committees and organizations, and so we can inform Canyon Country and also Santa Clarita and just like I say, educate the whole community on what pertains to all our daily lives. I mean, what happens here affects all of us. So each of us in the focus group, basically the people that came to the focus group were members of neighborhood watch groups, some homeowners associations and all that. We all had email lists and stuff, and so we figured that we could, whatever information we obtained, we could send out to our email lists and just be able to spread the word to more and more people. And our intent was to inform as many people as we could of the important information that affects every resident and citizen of Canyon Country and Santa Clarita. Back in March, April of 2010, I made a presentation about the focus group to the Canyon Country Advisory Committee meeting, and Al asked if the members liked the idea and or had any thoughts about it if we were heading in the right direction. There was no objection, and all seemed to agree that the approach we were taking was okay. Through the years, Canyon Country Advisory Committee has evolved. And during the past 12 months, changes have occurred. The city, let's see here. The city decided to discontinue support of its advisory panels. We lost what budget there was many years ago. We lost the support of the dedicated city staff. Last summer, the city withdrew permission for us to meet in the sports complex with no charge. Well, the Canyon Country Advisory Committee's never asked for any money from anyone, and we have no accounts or money to pay for any kind of rent. That's why we're here at the Moose Lodge, because they so generously let us meet here at no charge. Without any support, any city support, we've become a private organization. We've changed. The focus group decided that we should become a nonprofit organization, and we've put in the applications to get that ball rolling. And in order to be a nonprofit, we need to have a board of directors. So now our focus group has evolved into a board of directors. The board of directors consists of me, Judy Talor, Deborah Chastain, Spence Leafdale, Michael Cruz, Tony Natoli, Joe Gronstein, Aaron Miller, and then the officers of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee, Al, Merle, and Nadine. The monthly Canyon Country Advisory Committee meetings are going to stay the same. The board of directors will deal with the business activities of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee and also probably the policies, but everything will be brought to the general membership. The focus group board of directors spent many meetings discussing and rewriting the bylaws of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. Because we were required to have an updated bylaws in order to be granted the nonprofit status, we worked many months working on revised bylaws. We've got a sign-up sheet. If anybody wants a copy of the bylaws emailed to them, just sign up and we will send you a copy of the bylaws. Like I said, the meetings will stay the same. Our business activities will be held at the board of directors. We will take care of that. Basically looking to how to get the word to everybody. We'll also look for, when we are able to take money and stuff, we'll look for grant applications, that type of thing. We're have the application into California for the nonprofit corporation. As soon as we get that, we will make the application to the IRS for a 5013C or whichever designation the IRS will give us. We want to give all the members who are interested a chance to participate. The bylaws that we've revised basically are in sections of offices, the locations of the offices. We talk about the members. We talk about our meeting format. We talk about our officers' records and the bylaw changes, which we will hold yearly. Now, we know some of this is pretty boring for most people, but we have to do this with the state requirement and to try to obtain the nonprofit status. If you're interested in providing comments and just to see what's going on, please add your name to the bylaw review and we will email it to you. That's all I have. If there are any questions, we'll try to answer some. And be sure and put your name down for the